Hi, everyone. I'm just going to wait one more minute to make sure we have as many participants as possible. So about one more minute and then we will get started. All right, everyone. Hi, it's Ms. Shiflett. We are going to get ready to roll. And remember that this will be recorded if you know someone that is missing it or someone that's having technical difficulties or can't find where to go in these technological times. Just to get started, we are going to introduce the ladies of 4th grade. Make sure my slide is working here. There we go. And then right before, actually, I just want to remind you of the Q&A section. So please utilize that Q&A section. We will publish the questions as they come up, and we will have a section at the end where we will answer your questions. If we do not get to your question, we will try our best to reach out to you, or you can ask your homeroom teacher to help answer anything you need answered. All right, so here we are, 4th grade team, our little Bitmoji versions of ourselves. I'm going to try and have each teacher come on and just send a little wave. If they unmute their screens, I will click them to go live and we'll see if it works. So coming up, we have Miss Russell. She's gonna still wait for us. It might be a little bit of a delay. We will see, I don't know. All right, we have Miss Dayton, who is not here, but I do have a picture of her coming up soon. We have Miss Slattery coming up right here for us.
Hi.
Oh, there's Miss Russell. Look at that. All right, we have Miss Slattery. Let's see. We are working through this. We're just going to show Miss Russell the whole time. We have Miss Gaw. There she is, if you can see her. She's waving away. All right. We have Miss Miller, who is coming back to us from 5th grade, and then she was also a resource teacher, hanging out, having a good time. We have Miss Osgood, one of our lovely special educators. Wow, this is a really big delay, guys. I'm very sorry. We have Miss Castelli, who is also another special educator. So I'm gonna let this catch up for a second. The lag is real. Thank you, everyone, for being so patient and kind during this first adventure on a live team meeting. All right, it should be ready for me to continue. Let's hope. Okay, so we should be seeing the lovely Miss Dayton on your screen in just a second. The lag of the event.
It's up there, Miss.
It is? All right, cool. Thank you. Thank you for the positive reinforcement there, Miss Castelli. All right. The next thing that we are going to talk about with Miss Russell is our attendance policy. Oh, thank you, Miss Paulson. I see you. All right, Miss Russell, take it away.
Hi, everyone. So if you attended the meeting before this, Miss Bosley went over the attendance. Most of our students are doing their attendance in the morning, which is excellent. So if you look at the screen, there's an icon, and that's what your child's going to click on in the morning. And then they're just going to click that they're here. Please keep in mind that it needs to be finished and complete before 10 a.m. because then it closes and it will not allow you to get in. If you happen to miss it, just let your teacher know, and then they will contact the office for you. And then the same, so if you're signing in the morning, we just ask that you please make sure that your child is signed on to all of the live meetings throughout the day.
All right. Next, we are going to talk about routines and procedures with the lovely Miss Gaw.
Yes. So I just want to quickly go over, I'm sure you guys already kind of got the feel for the routines throughout the week, but basically we've all decided that the whole group meetings will continue to stay located in the homeroom tile on It's Learning. So that is the 9:30 daily class meeting. Please remember those are Monday through Friday. And from there, teachers will instruct students on the structure of the rest of their day together and go over the schedule each day. So we're still learning together, and having the chance to go over that schedule daily with the kids in the morning is really beneficial. Our goal is to meet with every child each week in a small group. So that would be like for math, my goal is to meet with each small group at least one time per week. And also for language arts, one time in a small group per week. Also Fridays, they look a little bit different. We still meet in that small group, the class meeting in the morning, and then that is an opportunity for teachers if needed to pull small groups of children as needed on Fridays. So that is what Fridays are being used for. Your child might be asked to join a meeting or not. And also students with IEPs will receive their special education service hours during the small group blocks. They'll be working with a special education service provider. That's all I have.
Fantastically done. Next, we are going to talk about our virtual learning etiquette, which many of our students have been really focusing on so far while we've been together online. Take it away, Miss Miller.
Hello. So for virtual learning etiquette, one of the things that we've been working with our students on is just helping them try to find a quiet place that they're able to focus and work. We understand that we're in the house and we have, life happens and things, people have dogs and people have kids, and we get it. So I've been encouraging students to try their best to find a spot that they can focus and work. Maybe headphones is something that would help them. So if a child gets distracted easily by if the television is on, maybe finding a spot away from that, just so they stay focused in the short time that we do have them. We have noticed in the past 2 weeks, and we've been doing this, that, we will ask a child to unmute, or they'll unmute to ask a question. And that is awesome. It just picks up so much background noise. There's a lot of times that we can hear a lot of things in the background, which is fine, except that sometimes it makes it really hard to understand what they're saying, or them to understand what we're saying, or other students to hear. So it's just something to kind of keep in the back of your mind when you're going about your day. We do encourage students get several breaks throughout the day. They have one at 11 o'clock for 15 minutes, and then they have a nice big chunk of time for their lunch period, which I believe lunch is from 11:45 to 12:45, and then they have they do have another little break from 2 to 2:15. We have been encouraging our students to get up and walk away from the computer. We understand it's a lot of time in front of a device. I tell them, get up, go look out the window. If your parents are there and they let you go outside, take a walk. I know I tell my own personal children, go walk around the house, because I want them to get out and get away from a device. So just, we tell them those are the times you want to utilize. Go to the bathroom, get a drink of water, grab a quick snack, take a stretch break, get the wiggles out. So just some things to we're telling you so you can help us remind them. And we just are trying to encourage students to type. And that's the other thing. We're encouraging students to type in the chat if they have a question, or kind of just raise that. There's a little digital hand that they can raise, because when a lot of kids come off mute all at once, you can't even make out what people are saying. It just sounds like a muffled loudness. So we just have been trying to encourage students that the chat box is really for questions, or if they can, sometimes we'll say, hey, if you see this, type yes, or what's the answer to this math problem. So we've been trying to utilize it in that way. So just because, like I said, when everyone comes off of mute at one time, it can be loud, and not anybody can really understand what's happening. What's happening. So we get it. I feel for these kids. Like, I really want them to be able to interact with their friends, and we try to provide a little bit of time maybe when they first come on to say hello to their friends, but the chat box can turn very distracting for students. So I know that sometimes we have to kind of be a little bit of a bulldog when it comes to the chat box, just because it becomes, the students are focused so much on what everyone is saying and doing in the chat box versus what the teacher's teaching, and we don't get them for that much time. So we really want to keep their attention on the teacher and on the learning, and not the chat box.
All right, thank you, Miss Miller. Here we have coming up, what if I miss a lesson, with the lovely Mrs. Slattery. She's going to talk about what you can do if you happen to miss a live lesson.
Okay, so we completely understand that there will be times that you may have to miss a lesson, whether it's because you're sick, whether because your child's sick, or there's an appointment, or internet issues, like that can occur, and that's okay. What we suggest is that you will be able to make up whatever lesson that you may have missed, whether it be reading or writing or math, or social studies, or science. There will be a pre-recorded mini lesson that will be posted in the homeroom tile under the day and week that they've missed. So they don't have to complete it that day. Like if they missed one subject area, say in reading, and they were able to get to math and social studies, they don't need to make that up that day. Friday is another day that they could also utilize that time and go back any subject areas that they may have missed or not completed all of the work. They can use that time on Friday to submit the work there, so that they're not stressed out and worried that they have to have homework after the school day is done. So that's if we miss a lesson. Thank you.
Very nicely done, Miss Slattery. Next, coming up, you're going to hear from yours truly, myself. And we are going to talk about how you can show teens penguin pride. You might have seen this graphic on our Facebook page, and our students have done an excellent job coming up with strategies and helpful things to keep in mind while we are working online together. So we are continuing to stay with our traditional set ways of keeping our penguin pride. We're talking about how we can be prepared, respectful, intelligent, determined, and engaged online. Making sure your child signs into Teams and downloads the app, arriving early or on time to be let in the lobby. I know in mine and Miss Slattery's homerooms, our kids have been doing an excellent job with that, so let's continue to keep that up. Remember to be respectful. I know Miss Miller was just talking about chatting only in the chat box when it's appropriate, using the respectful language, and practicing that mute and unmute button in the appropriate times and ways. Remember to be intelligent, keeping track of usernames and passwords. I know the students use the same username and passwords for a lot of things that involve Microsoft. Just make sure that if you have outside accounts like Epic or Extra Math, you're keeping track of those passwords. I know all of us have those posted as well on our homeroom page for you to have easy access to. Making sure you're asking for help and using those office hours. We are here to help you and we want to help you. We know that this is not an easy task that we are all being given right now to do. So the way to get through it is by using teamwork. So we are here for you when you need it. Making sure we're being determined, definitely trying our best and not giving up. A lot of perseverance has been going on this week. We can continue to make that strong the whole time that we are virtual. And Miss Miller, just like she was saying, taking a break when you're feeling frustrated, you can add that to the list of break time. You might need to just mute your screen for 5 seconds and take a few deep breaths and come back to it. And making sure you're engaged, focusing, sitting strong, cutting out the distractions, not having fidgets or any toys in your hands, showing them up on the screen. We will have time to share during closure if there's something that you would really like to show to the class. All right, next we have ways your child can be rewarded positively. So we have some fun prize ideas. We're using Class Dojo. These are just some ways that your child can earn points on Class Dojo. Making sure that they're spending time with activities on its learning, commenting that you have completed an assignment. If you're using Prodigy, completing tasks, practicing with Epic, messaging your teacher, using the Padlets. Anything that is showing Penguin Pride digitally will earn you dojo points. And your individual teacher will talk to you how frequently we plan on using prizes and rewards in our classroom, but these are just some options that your child has to earn while we are working online. My personal favorite is the virtual dance party. I do play some good tunes, so let's continue to work hard and earn those points. A lot of teachers have also emailed you the codes to connect with Class Dojo. There's an app that you can download. You can also access it just on your regular web browser. So if you have that email, make sure you're signed up. If you need that email again, definitely reach out to your teacher and it will be provided for you. All right, we're going to hear from Miss Gaw. She's going to talk to us about our curriculum.
Thank you very much, Ms. Shiflett. Yes, I just want to quickly go through the curriculum programs that we are using in 4th grade. In math, we are using the same curriculum as last year, except this year they changed the name. So instead of seeing the tile that says Pearson Realize, now it says Pearson Savvas or Savvas Realize. So the icon looks a little bit differently, but your teachers will be sure that the kids know what it looks like when we start exploring it a lot more. Reading and writing are still using the Lucy Calkins units of study, so that is similar to last year. This year, word work will be embedded within reading and writing lessons. Social studies has already started, and so we are using, we are working through October on social studies, and then we will start up with the science curriculum after we finish a unit in social studies. So you haven't seen science yet, but you will see it sometime in October. I think I also have the next slide, Alex, so can you just hit next for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hold on.
We've gotten a couple questions about this, but no, there is no homework right now for children in elementary school. The lessons that your children come to every day online are the lessons for the day, and we just ask them to be engaged and participating during that time. Fridays is when you will see something that seems like homework because it's more independent assignments on its learning pages in the content areas, but we wouldn't call that homework because it's during the school day. Now, if somebody chooses not to do it on Friday, it is still required schoolwork, so we would ask them to complete it, at a timely manner. So then that might be kind of like Saturday homework or Sunday if you don't get to it during the school hour on Friday. Okay, so that's the homework speech.
All right.
One more for me, I think. All right, so I'm also just going to talk about this. We have been practicing and practicing with your students about how they can submit their work. So most often we are working on the It's Learning platform, and your teachers are sending you out assignments in that way. The kids are getting familiar with it and they can submit it right back to us on It's Learning. We've been really practicing with It's Learning mostly currently. We're also eventually going to start moving into Pearson, which is the math site. So Savvas, realize there's the little tile, it has an R on it. And that is a more customized way for math assignments to go out to your students. And it allows the teacher to change the questions around. So eventually the math will be coming to you through Pearson, and when we get to that step, we will continue walking students through the steps and showing them exactly how to submit. Language arts teachers will also be utilizing OneNote, and that is another form of technology we will again continue practicing so that kids are familiar with it and they get comfortable submitting in all these different ways. We will always tell the kids up front where they are to go, and as always, if there is any issue that you have with submitting anything, we ask that you can write it down or type it and email it to us or send us a picture. I recently started using Padlet to see if I could try and get kids to take pictures of their work and send it to me that way. So that's just another form. But if there's ever an issue, please email your child's teacher and let us know so we can try to get that work accounted for.
All right, thank you, Miss Gall. Miss Miller is going to take over to talk about our weekly schedule. Super, super important.
Thank you, Ms. Shiflett. So you guys have probably seen this come home. You've probably seen it on multiple social media pages. This is our fourth grade schedule. We try to go over it with the students every single morning, and a lot of times at closure, just so they know, just to get them reminded of what the schedule looks like, what to expect the next day, or if it's in the morning, what to expect for that day. Monday through Thursday looks very similar. The only thing that changes really is the ELA blocks kind of flip-flop. So you see reading is on Monday and Tuesday. Sorry, not Tuesday. Sorry, Monday, Wednesday, and I think that one I had to edit. Where's it at? Oh, it's blocking my screen. That's why. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I apologize. And then writing is Tuesday and Thursday both times. So we just have some things broken up a little bit to get as many lessons in as possible in a way that makes sense to the students and isn't overbearing to them. We do have science and social studies twice a week. We do try to couple it in there with several breaks. You can see math is every day, and there's a large small group section in all ELA and all math blocks. You can see that Friday is very different, like Miss Slattery already had talked about and Miss Gall talked about. Friday is we meet for a class meeting in the mornings for 15 minutes just to get the kids, set the tone for the day, get them started, make sure they don't have any questions. And then we have lessons for them on to practice. It's really a practice of the skills that we've been working on throughout the week. And that will be graded assignments that they will be required to turn in. If they do have any questions, our teachers have office hours from 9:45 to 11 on Fridays. And after that, a lot of times we are in professional development or meetings, but I still try to make myself to where I can at least answer a quick message, an email or something if somebody is stuck. But I really do think that as students start to get practice and more comfortable with this and what we're doing, that those are going to even be less and less and less. Right now, everything is new and everything is just different. So, and we're trying to accommodate as best as possible.
All right, thank you, Miss Miller. Next, we are going to talk about all of the social media outlets William Pickett has to offer and all the ways you can communicate. This has been touched on in our big event earlier, but Miss Slattery is going to remind you of them very quickly.
Okay, so we have, of course, as Ms. Godfrey said, we have many social media platforms. So as long as you are signed up with at least one of those platforms, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the website of William Pickett or the Remind You app, you will get the most update and current information happening in our school. So as long as, you know, you don't have to have all of them in order to get it, all of the important and updated information will go out equally to each of those sites. So don't worry about, you know, having to get Twitter or any of that sort of things. So we are always, you know, available if you have any questions about any of those social media sites or how to get in touch with us. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, next thing I'm going to touch on are emails. Please continue to check your emails very frequently. As a team, we are sending a lot of updates to you. As individual homerooms, we are sending a lot of updates to you. I know I've sent my dojo codes out to parent emails. I'm sure others have as well. But just continue to check those. And if for any reason, if you're watching this, the recorded version of our presentation, or if you're here live, just remember to make sure that the email that we have is an email that is up to date. Especially if you have not received emails from your homeroom teacher. We have all been sending emails out. So if you have not had any, please check in with your teacher and make sure that there isn't a typo or you have the correct information in order to get in contact with us. Next, here are just a few other options as well. These again will be easily able to access during the recording of this live meeting, but these are just super important phone numbers to have. These are the technological support numbers. So our technology support, this is for William Paca families. So as a school, we have set up a hotline for parents to call if you have any questions regarding technology. You will dial this number and then enter the conference ID. So you would do that over Teams, okay? And then we have hours Monday through Friday. They are through 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. So someone will be available during those hours if you call this number and enter this password, this conference ID on Teams. So that way screens can be shared with you. It's fantastic. And then below in the blue box, we have information that is from Harford County. So that's for the entire county for family technologic support, okay? We have some hours of operation for those support times. From 7 to 12 p.m., there's a number you call. And from 4 to 9 p.m., there's a separate number you call. So that's fantastic that evening hours are provided as well. There's also an email for you to get in contact with. I know I've shared that out many of times because, you know, technology, it's fun. And then we also have a support request form that you could fill out with any technological questions or device issues that you have. All right, next we have just some information about our guidance counselor, the lovely Miss Felty. She has office hours. And they're fabulous office hours because they are from 8:30 to 3:30. And it looks as though they are every day because there is no set time or day on there. So at any time from 8:30 to 3:30, you can contact Miss Felty by reaching out to her email. And yes, that picture is an actual picture of her lovely, cute little dog. Very adorable. I've met the dog. Very cute. All right. So this is the portion of our live event where we are going to address any questions that you have. So I'm just going to go through. I'm going to say the question and then direct my question that I see to one of the lovely teachers of 4th grade. So I see this is a really good question. Is there any way to turn off private messages and calls from other students? Unfortunately, at this point in time, that is a really big, heavy question that a lot of us are asking. That is, unfortunately, a Microsoft issue. It is not a Harford County tool that we can turn on and off. So we are kind of at the mercy of Microsoft at this point. hopefully updates will be made to teams in order for that to get resolved. I know that has been a big question that's been weighing on a lot of parents' minds. So hopefully we will get some clarification with that in the very near future. Next question I see, will 4th grade use Prodigy? Miss Gall, would you like to answer that question?
Yes, thank you. We definitely will be using Prodigy in our math classes. We just have not gotten it set up yet. We're working on another math website that works on fact fluency and just getting the kids the lay of the land with all the technology that they've been presented in the first couple days of school. But yes, we will definitely get to use Prodigy.
All right. Should the kids have downloaded Dojo already? I'm going to shoot that one over to Miss Russell, putting her on the hot seat.
So the kids, it's most for the parents that will sign up. I highly recommend, if you're not part of your class or your child's classroom, that you do sign up as soon as possible, because I know that I have published a lot on Dojo, and that's how we get a lot of our announcements out to families. So I highly recommend doing it sooner than later.
Yes, and if you need your class code or anything, reach out to your child's teacher and they will provide that for you. Alrighty, let's see. Are emails going to the students' emails as well as parents, or strictly one or the other? I'm going to give that one to Miss Miller.
I knew you were going to pick me.
I know, because I know you have a really good answer.
Oh, do I? Okay. So our students, at least me and Mrs. Gau's homeroom, I have not gotten the kids on their emails yet. I have been trying to take one piece of technology at a time, and I just felt like we weren't there yet. I was thinking about today, but we might wait till later this week. I don't know that every single email is going to go to the student emails as well as parents. If I have something like back to school night, I mean, I would probably push most things, but then if we're talking math emails, I would imagine that we could add, we could just, if that's something that parents want, we can certainly do that. Just like how we would tell a kid when we're in a classroom and there's a Chuck E. Cheese night or something that's happening, we would tell the kids about it and then send home the flyer, and then you guys would get the remind call. So the kids would know about it and you would know about it. So I do think it's important to kind of like put it in multiple places because everybody's busy. So I do think that that is a good idea. We just haven't made it there yet. And I would want to get the kids to understand what email is used for and how to use it appropriately and for educational purposes. So probably maybe in the future, but not yet.
All right, let me go back to the published part because I was in the new part. And then on touching with that, if there is a certain situation or a predicament where you want your child to be the one who's receiving emails, if there's a reason where you're not home during the day, or if there's something pertinent that it's a needs basis, an individual basis, we are more than happy to accommodate that as well. It just has not been touched on yet. I did see one in the non-published part that is related to emails. Is there an option to forward student emails to the parents' email? We could, if there is an actual email that needs to go out just for students, we most certainly can CC parents on that email as well, so that you are getting the same email that your child is receiving. And again, you can reach out to us with that if you prefer that. If not, then we'll just send it to students, but we most definitely can CC you on those emails. I see one more. I think this was backing off of the first email of, will students receive emails as well as parents, or one or the other? The question is, will that change once all the kids learn the email app? So will only students receive emails once they've learned all about it, or will parents continue to still get emails? I'm going to give that one to Miss Castelli.
Thanks, Ms. Shiflett. So I'm speaking as a parent of Harford County high schoolers. I know that as the kids age in the different schools, communication becomes something that becomes more direct between the teachers and the students. However, I would make sure that all of you provide an updated email address or a really good phone number for text messages to keep in touch with your child's teachers, because some of the information that might be shared might be regarding grades or particular situation that occurred at school, that we want to keep that information between the adults in the group. So I would make sure that in addition to your student learning what their email will be, that you maintain that contact for now. And I don't know if it's come up, Ms. Shiflett, but also making sure that everybody has a chance to enroll eventually in the home access center, because that's a great way to keep in touch and know what's going on at school each day with your kiddos.
That has not come up, and that is an absolutely fantastic point, Ms. Castelli. Thank you for reminding us of that. All right, I'm looking in the questions here. Fourth grade team, am I missing anything? I think I've hit it all.
That's it, Ms. Shiflett. I do know that there was a question in the large session about Epic Books, so I wanted to address it here. So Epic Books is, if you don't know and your child hasn't talked about it, Epic Books is a website that we try to use during this virtual time because we understand that libraries are closed except for the drive-through, and getting books and access to books can be a little bit more challenging. So it is a website that is filled with all kinds of books that the kids have great interest in. And the great thing about it is that it's free for teachers. So I'm able to go in and create an account and give that to all the students and be able to give them that access, which is amazing. The only drawback to Epic Books is the fact that because it is free for teachers, their only stipulation is that there is only the hours that students may use it is in school hours only. So it is only open from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. So unfortunately, and I talked about this today with the kids, is if they're really into the Diary of a Wimpy Kid and they want to see what happens at 8 o'clock tonight, I love that they want to log on and get into a book. It makes my heart so happy. But Epic's rules are between the hours of 7 and 4 for those free accounts. Parents do have the option to purchase the account. It's kind of like a Netflix subscription. It's like $10 a month. And that's for access for students outside of those school hours or for people that are not teachers and don't want to get that for their child. So if you have a kid at home, a student at home, and they're frustrated because they just want to read this book and it's not letting them, and it's after 4 o'clock, that's why. So we just wanted to let you know so that there isn't frustrations at home.
Thank you, Miss Miller. And again, that is not required to purchase Epic. We are not asking you in any sort of way to purchase anything for your children while they are at home. Again, that is on you if you would like to do that. I see one more question. Is there a mute button the teacher can control? I will take this one, fourth grade team. Yes, the teachers do have access to mute students. This is especially something that happens if it's an accident and they unmute themselves and we hear like a lot of background noise. We can scroll through on our end and make sure that they go back on mute when they are supposed to be back on mute. Sometimes they might ask a question and forget to mute themselves afterwards. We can go in and make sure that they are back on mute. So yes, there is a way for teachers to do that. Any presenter in the meeting can do that, yes. I think, did we do it, team? Oh, thank you, Miss Chandler. She said we're doing a fabulous job.
Ms. Shiflett?
Yes.
There is a question about Epic. Sorry, I'm just reading it.
Okay.
So yes, Epic, so it says, can books be limited to what's available from the Epic library, not just through Epic Books? So Epic Books, wait a minute, to limit to what's available from the library. So students do not have to use Epic Books. they absolutely can, like, we're offering it as a resource. So if a child can get books from the library and they're into another series, go for it. I love that, and for me, that's even a bonus because it gets them away from a screen and, into a physical book. I just know that a lot of that adds another piece that not everyone is able to get to a library. I know I had to get a book from the library. I had to order it, tell it where it was going, wait for it to get there, then schedule an appointment, and it had to be like a specific, like 4:33 p.m. like and drive through. So I know
Ms. Miller,
that's yes.
I just wanted to add because my child at home actually uses it, and I do too. Parents, for Harford County Public Library, you can actually, there's an app that you can use, and I like it because I have 3 children. You just put your library card number in it, and there's audiobooks. There are, ebooks. There's actually movies and songs you can also, but the reason why I said I like it is because I don't get the fees anymore. So when you borrow a book from there, they say, you have 21 days, until it needs to be returned. And guess what? They don't need to, you don't need to go back to the library. They just take it from your cart. So you don't have any fees to pay after, when the book is misplaced or, they can't find it or anything of that sort. So that's just another option. Because I know the library, like Ms. Miller was saying, with having to go actually get a book from the library, you have to do all that. You can also download the Harford County Public Library app from your phone or tablet or whatever.
Yeah, and I do know that, and I don't know if they're still doing this. I would assume so because you can't get in person with them. But I do know that they were letting people sign up through. You used to always had to go in person and sign up for a library card. I do know that they were letting people sign up through the website, which is free, and they were waiving the fee to get it. So I signed up my daughter. So that's just another account. But like she said, you're able to access things outside of the physical book. You can get them online. Epic does not have everything. Epic is a great and wonderful library that has lots of things. It's got a lot of Epic originals in there, things that you can't get in the actual library. And it has a lot of things that you can, but it is not all inclusive. It's not like there's, I looked for a book yesterday and I was thinking I'll try Epic and it didn't have it. So there's a lot that it doesn't have, but it does give us enough that kids are engaged and interested, and it gives them the variety of text ranges and categories that they might be interested in. Okay, we have 2 minutes.
All right, let's, I see this one. I think we hit on this earlier, I'm not sure. If some work is not done in class, not able to be finished, do they need to complete the work that same day, or does it just need to be completed at the end of the week? That's a really good question. Ms. Gall, you want to touch on that for us really quick before we wrap up?
Yes, definitely. Thank you. I would just say that, like we said, whatever's happening in the class meeting, I understand if there wasn't something to be able submitted, we would definitely accept their work by the end of the week. And my fellow 4th grade teachers, please feel free to jump in if you disagree, but I see no reason why Friday during that asynchronous time, so when the kids are given assignments to work on independently, that would be a great day for kids to work on anything they didn't get to turn in during the week. So love that question. Thank you so much for asking it. I would say by the end of the week is great. So thank you.
Yes, and definitely during those Friday hours where we are asynchronous, meaning we are not live together, we will have blocks of time where we can also remind students, if you have not turned in anything, or if you have not turned in an assignment this week, or if you missed an assignment, take this time to get that done on Friday, and then we will have everything in, locked and loaded, graded by the end of school on Friday. Great question. All right, friends, it is, I'm calling everyone friends, feeling like I'm back in school. All right, it is 7:30. We are going to wrap up our live, beautiful meeting. This was fantastic. The nerves were real. The sweat was dripping. I was a little nervous back here. But thank you so much for all of your fantastic questions. It was really awesome to have so many of you here joining us. Again, this will be able to be seen on our social media pages. When the links are locked and loaded on there, you can access this at any time. Please don't forget to reach out to your teachers if you have any questions that we may have not had a chance to answer during our back to school event. One thing I just wanted to touch on very quickly, we really do appreciate and applaud all of you who are working with us and doing everything possible to make this experience the best that it can be, and for being super understanding as we navigate this experience all together. The amount of just praise and love that I have for many of you, all of you, is fantastic, and it warms my heart to just see all of the engagement and awesome things that are happening in our virtual classrooms, and that is because of you at home. So we, as a team, we just applaud you and appreciate you, and we see you and thank you for all you are doing for our students and your children. It does not go unnoticed. So with that, if anyone does not have anything else they want to say, we are going to end our evening. Thank you so much for attending. We look forward to a fabulous year with you all. Again, reach out to your teachers if you have any questions, and have a fabulous evening. See you bright and early tomorrow.
Bye.